Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the February 3rd, Wednesday edition of the Carolina Weather Video here, and we remain in a very quick-hitting weather pattern with one storm system after another moving on through. And already our next system clearly taking shape off to our southwest, and lots of moisture and cloud cover and rain spreading into Texas this morning, and that's going to very quickly be lifting up in our general direction. Now, we started off the day with a lot of fog and drizzle, and sort of a dreary start to the day, but we'll see sunshine for the bulk of the day, and it'll be a pretty nice afternoon. A nice afternoon to enjoy the sunshine. Highs in most spots, the upper side of the 40s, even some low 50s out there, so it'll be a pretty comfortable day today. Enjoy that because quick change is coming. Let's go out to tomorrow, and by the way, this is the NAM. I'm showing you the 16 NAM for this morning's video here on this portion of the video. We go out now to 1 o'clock in the afternoon on tomorrow, Thursday. Couple of features to note here. First of all, there is our next wave of precip lifting our way. Second of all, a decent area of high pressure that is already wedging down the eastern side of the mountains, and that is going to be spreading our way. The precipitation will. Now let me sort of take you through a couple of panels here with this system. Let's go out to 1 a.m. Friday. And I'll say this, the GFS is quicker than the other models. I think it's probably too quick as of the 0 and 60 run. So I've sort of sided with the NAM. That's why I'm showing you that on the video, at least for the timing of this. And the NAM is in decent agreement with the European overall as well. All right, so here you go, 1 a.m. Friday. That's when the precip begins to really spread in toward the southern Piedmont. And here we are at 7 a.m. on Friday. And while the actual main freezing line is well off to our north, you notice there's a little pocket of sub-freezing temperatures up at 5,000 feet in parts of western North Carolina. That's an indication that the atmosphere aloft is really hovering right near freezing in a lot of spots in western and central North Carolina as the precip moves on in. We go 6 hours later, and that's when stuff really begins to settle in as we get toward Friday morning. And the precip continues to be quite significant through the day Friday, and then it continues Friday evening before tapering off Friday night. And then we'll have to see here, that's 7 a.m. Saturday, and here is 1 p.m. Saturday. Another little wave of energy moves overhead, and we'll have to watch. That might end up as a little light snow on Saturday. But let's talk about Thursday night into Friday. Here's what the HPC has gone with. There's their outline for the probability of at least 4 inches of snow, and that's off to the north of the Carolinas. But ice is not. They have a pretty high probability. They're the moderate probability of at least a 1/4 inch of ice extending through much of western North Carolina, even into extreme northeastern Georgia, northwestern South Carolina. And verbatim, you look at the slight probability extending even towards Charlotte. So that's what the HPC has. And I think this is going to be a situation where there's going to be very strong cold air damping. Now, the air mass is not as cold or dry off to our north as I'd like to see to really get overly worried about a widespread winter storm for much of the Piedmont zones. By that I mean Raleigh and Charlotte. But the triad over into the foothills, I am quite concerned about this. I think this has the makings of a significant at least amount of winter precip. And the way I'm sort of envisioning this right now is even around Charlotte, even maybe Raleigh, and certainly the Triad and the foothills, we see the precip move in late Thursday night. It probably moves in as a brief period of some snow, and then the temperatures aloft warm, and where temps stay below freezing, you're looking at a pretty significant freezing rain event. And I think that'd be most likely in the foothills, but certainly the ice could extend for a long time, even toward Hickory, and maybe even to parts of the Triad as well. And I can't even rule out some icing around Charlotte with this, depending on how strong the wedge is. So this is going to be something to watch. Certainly this could be a damaging ice storm for the foothills and northwestern Piedmont. Anything east and south of there is a bigger question mark. But it's something we're going to be watching very closely. So certainly this next system does have the potential to produce more wintry precip. Here's what the NAM is forecasting. This is the snow chart. And it does indicate a little bit of snow across North Carolina as the precip initially moves in. And then there's the icing it prints out, and that's a significant amount of ice in the northwest Piedmont, the foothills, and the parts of the mountains as well, and even down toward extreme western South Carolina and northeastern Georgia. So still some details to resolve with this system, but I think we need to pay attention to it and see how the details unfold with this one as we go through the next 36 hours. All right, now let's switch to the GFS here. A couple things to show you. Next system tries to roll in around Tuesday of next week. That one bears watching for wintry precip. And boy, then the GFS just goes nuts with the cold air. This is the 0Z run, and it just blasts Arctic air into much of the eastern two-thirds of the country as we get toward the second 10 days of February there, and it hangs it around. That's the 15th, and that is the 18th. Still a lot of cold air around. And storm track is still there, but the GFS keeps things suppressed off to the south due to the nature of the cold air. This is the average of the 8 to 10 day 500 millibar pattern, European on the left, GFS on the right, and again both models still indicating really when you look at a week to 10 days off, that's about as favorable as a pattern could look for trying to get wintry weather into the southeastern part of the country. Cold air, active storm track, so lots of probably fun and games ahead. But certainly we need to watch this system Thursday. I sort of laid out the ideas. I'll get a lot more specific with it on tomorrow morning's video, on the Thursday morning video. But certainly bears watching, especially in the most favored, coldest damming regions, the cold air damming regions of western North Carolina. Something to watch for sure. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and God bless.